Alright, I'm going to show you the exact farming route that I always take, just when I'm going to get brimstone and heading back to base, or if I'm just trying to get a lot of demon powder going. So always have a thrall following you, of course. Generally you want to have one that you need to level up, because there's going to be some killing involved in it, so you can get some experience out of it, and be as efficient as possible. My build, I always rock max encumbrance with whatever gear I have. Currently it's only a +7. Normally I have mammoth boots on, which give it me up to a +9. Your survival, you want to have perk 2, so I always go up to 15, and the black blood tool will give me +5 to make it to perk 2. It will make me able to one-tap all the brim, one-tap trees, you know, take hole up in like 3 hits. It just reduces how long I spend hitting stuff, and it reduces how much durability loss I actually have in my pick while I'm farming too. Vitality 3, always important, get that temperature drop and get that health regen. And then if I could get perk 2 of grit, barbaric tenacity, that would also help a ton with an encumbrance build. And agility perk 1 would help a ton too. Like if I didn't put any points into strength or agility, I could have got grit 2 and maybe got some agility going. But my build's not exactly set up correctly just yet. Alright. Of course, armor. You want to have a sandstorm mask. I never include the helmet into my build. So whenever I try and hit whatever perks I'm hitting, I never wear a helmet while I'm doing it. So then it's only incorporating whatever my armor pieces are that I'm wearing down here. So if I'm wearing PvP, I'm only including like the strength bonuses or grit, vitality, whatever I'm using for PvP. And my helmet is interchangeable, so I can wear a sandstorm mask or a Godbreaker helmet. If I'm wearing a Godbreaker helmet, I'll go ahead and include it into the build itself. So I get the +3 grit included. It just makes it a lot more efficient that way. Always epic flawless and watch your armor's health. Black blood tools, like I said, pull this baby out. It gives you a +5 to survival there. I'll run around with a Mistborn, especially for what I'm doing right now. See how it's going from hot, it'll drop down to soothing. If you don't have this Mistborn shield and you're wearing this specific armor, you will burn alive out there at the Brimstone Lake. And of course you're gonna go hit Black Ice. You want to whip this shield out, the Shoal Spiel. Penetration, cold insulated, heat insulated. Alright. Something of note is you want to watch your Black Blood pick's durability. Like mine's at 967, that means I can hit 967 things, whether they're stacked on top of each other or anything else. If you hit 967 things, the thing will break. If this pick does break, you do not have the knowledge to repair it. Since you don't have the knowledge to repair it, once it breaks, it's complete trash. You just throw it away. Like, you can't do anything about it anymore. So you want to walk around with legendary repair kits on you for whatever tools you're using. I'll generally walk around with in between 1 and 3 of them, depending on how big of a farm run I'm doing. For the one I'm doing right now, I'm not going to need one at all, pretty much. Because Brimstone Lake, it's like, might take up 200 durability, and then on the run back, I might use up another 200, just hitting coal and stuff like that. Which I'll show you all that great stuff as I go. Let's see, did I make her follow? Yeah, alright. So the prep's not that much, you can get some food and water. This water's really good. Like weight 3.7, 185 on me. Food, haunch easy to get. You're not worried about if you're running encumbrance what the weight is. Brimstone. I didn't check the player list. Normally, if we're in like a hostile environment, I will check the player list before I teleport. It's extremely important because if you notice there's a hostile clan on, you know they camp obs or they are actively at war with you, there's a really good chance they could just be in the area, happen to see someone teleporting in. There's a clear indicator when someone's teleporting in, as a beam of light and everything gets brighter. And they can just run over and kill you real quick and take all of your stuff. It's pretty fun. Really fun stuff right there. So I come out here. I'm going to actually take you through the whole thing. I'm not going to kill the bosses down here, but normally if I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, you want to always kill the bosses that have legendary chests, which there is a rot root. He spawns like right over there. My pointer's at. He's right over there somewhere. You kill him, he's got a chest down in the water. I'll show you where the chest is, and I'll show you where he is, so you can kill him whenever you come through here as well. A lot of times I'm going to waste my time with it. I'm just trying to be fast and get out. But if I'm trying to be efficient, I'll do that. So since I have this at perk 2 survival, and I've got the black blood pick, I can walk up and one tap all of these and just keep running. If I had perk 2 grit and I had perk 1 agility, I would almost never have to stop running. As soon as I stop running, I would regen, and my agility reduces how much stamina I use when I'm running. Hit these little guys right here. They give you bark and dry wood. Dry wood's gonna be really important later on. And bark is always useful for the dryers and for the tanneries. Speaking of which, we need to get some named tanners and whatnot. You want to have a ton of those laying around, named everything. Yeah. Then I'll do all the dirty work. Yeah, it's super easy stuff. And so whenever you have this black blood tool, it makes this way better to hit. Normally I won't get over encumbered by running through this once. And don't freak out if they gang up on you. Your thrall will save you. Yeah, that's like, what was that? 44 to 48 per hit. It's really good. Each one of these. And you get salt. Salt you can use to make special foods with, but honestly, like, once you get so much from hitting brimstone all the time, it won't matter that much. There's low balls, just like push on them. Yeah, you can see how I'm like spinning my camera around constantly. I actually have my sensitivity turned up slightly, so I can spin around, see if there's any players or any thralls that are walking around. You gotta constantly be aware. If someone rides up on a horse and you're not paying any attention at all and you get knocked down, you're already dead. Like, there's no saving you. And you can actually do this to players. So I ordered him to attack. You can order your thrall to attack players right now. There's a glitch. And your thrall will walk up to that player and actually swing on them outside of raid hours, and it will kill them. Like, a lot of times you can catch people off guard with that. So they'll just, you know, die. There's that black was talking about down there. If you don't have a Mistborn shield, by the way, you will be taking extreme heat damage if you're wearing this armor out here. But if you actually drink the water and you're constantly drinking the water while you're running through this, it'll make you very hot instead of extremely hot. You just have to constantly be drinking the water is the problem. And if you have a helmet called the Normedian, this place is really great. Or those Godbreaker boots that you have will work as well. Come down here, take off your Sandstorm mask, just take some damage from this, and it'll repair whatever you got. So if you're actually running those Godbreaker boots, you can just come down here, take some damage, let your pick repair if you don't have any of your repair kits. But honestly, like, those repair kits won't be a problem once we start having people farming on Named City. Something needs to be constantly farmed anyway, for fragments of power and whatnot. And legendaries. See, I'm about at the halfway point of getting through this whole thing now. See, legendary repair kits. You can get a Purge Blacksmith. Purge Blacksmiths are really important. Like, extremely important. You get one of them and you can make steel reinforcement with 1 iron reinforcement and 1 steel fire, instead of having to go through the process of crafting in the forge to make the like 10 iron for 1 iron reinforcement, and then, or not even iron reinforcement, and then converting that over to steel, and then converting steel into hardened steel reinforcements. Not only that, but the craft time is like 3 times the speed of making hardened steel reinforcement, or steel reinforcement. Yep. So that's like huge. But these Purge Blacksmiths can also make legendary repair kits, which is massive. You can make those and just crank them out. You don't have to worry about farming the Named City specifically to get legendary repair kits anymore. Just armor repair kits, pretty much. So you also need the named armorer, because named armor, or the Purge armor, not named, can make the redeemed Silent Legion And there are certain parts of the Redeemed Silent Legion set that you need for your thralls and for your players, because you get that extra +3 to whatever. And it's got good armor, and it's just freaking great armor in general. Same thing with the champion set and Godbreaker set. Constantly check that. I'm at 83. There's something called Oil of Bounties. That's pretty important. You get that from the Unnamed City. But basically, those work way differently. Whenever you put an Oil of Bounty on a pick, it cannot have a tool upgrade like what I have. I use a tool upgrade because I just like to run around, don't have to worry about it. But if you don't put a tool upgrade on it and your pick's at maximum health, you can throw an Oil of Bounty on it for the, like it's a tool upgrade basically. But it lasts for, I want to say like 5 minutes or something like that. It lasts for a specific amount of time. I generally try not to use them, by the way. Legendary chest is right there. If you kill this guy. Yeah, you kill him, he's a legendary chest. You can use a pick on him or whatever. He'll give you exotic flesh, vines, bones. I think it's called, I think he's rotwood. What was that saying? Oh yeah, Oil of Bounty, super huge. If you have someone that's good at using the Oil of Bounty, they can actually, wow, that rhino's flying. Yeah, they can actually get almost double what we're getting right now. Like, it's pretty close to that. It's like a 1.5 or something like that. 1.5 times more than what we're getting right now. But the downfall is that after the time expires on it, your pick goes straight down to 100 durability. So a lot of times I recommend players not even bother with that unless you're getting something like a Black Ice run or a Brimstone run, where you can actually manage the time. You put it away really fast and pull it back out, because then you have to keep constantly pulling it out, put it away, pull it out, put it away. Like, you have to manage that time efficiently in order to make it as effective as possible. MC it's either taking extreme hot, taking good. But yeah, you can go from getting what I think is going to be like maybe 5,000 out of this to getting over 7,000 out of this, just because you're using Oil of Bounty on it. The Oil of Bounty will last you about 3 or 4 Brimstone runs if you're really good at it. So that's a significant increase. But Oil of Bounty also costs fragments of power, and you're going to need legendary repair kits on top of that, instead of just walking around with this pick that I have, where you just use a legendary repair kit. Like, I'll just use an upgraded one to walk around and farm in general. Yeah, I'll always get that little dry wood that's laying on the ground. So bam, that's all you gotta do. This is literally running Brimstone Lake. Very simple. Once you get to this point, let's see, was it straight? Yeah, you go straight and go left. And you come up this little cliffside here, and you'll pop up right up there where the map room's at, in the ob. Kind of went autopilot because I've done this a million times. But the importance of hitting Brimstone Lake isn't just so that you have resources to make steel or to make dragon powder. It's to make sure that no one else has that. So you want to make sure that every hour you're coming back here and you have somebody hitting it, because you want to keep it from being cleaned out by someone else all the time. Whether you're at war or not, you gotta always play that resource game. Alright, let's see. This is ours, right? I'm assuming this is ours. Either way, this map from right here. So then, after I'm done hitting that, I'll usually like to run over here if I have the time for it. I'll run up over here, and this entire section right here, where I'm moving my cursor at, has a lot of dry wood. There's a lot of coal in this area. But dry wood and coal, you need to keep that fuel for your base going constantly. Like, having abundance of that just laying around is always a good thing. It's never bad. Alright, so now we go here. That's a little side step I like to make. If me and Annie are running together, usually I'll go and hit that while she hits the Brimstone, or we'll just go and hit Brimstone together, so we just make it double, like, just as fast. Or we're going to go hit everything else at the same time. Super efficient. Alright, so we go out here. The video I made earlier that I deleted, this is pretty much where I started off at, was coming here. Squirm. Okay, so our base, straight down this way. Sparnbreaker's flank. Where's the Summoner's Palace? It's over here anyway. Drywood. Always hit up Drywood as you're walking by. I mean, of course, if it's so far out of the way, I don't care to go get it. Just as long as it's on my general path, I'll knock it out. Coal. See if they're in the distance. Might as well grab it if you're trying to be efficient. But there's plenty on the path that you don't have to try and go too far out of your way if you're just trying to be quick. Normally, I would be walking around with a Yogg's cleaver type thing to get zeal. And specifically Yogg, I'll explain that a little more in depth later on to you in a one-on-one situation. Yeah, you got those two over there, these two over here. I wonder who's built up over here. Trying to remember where it's at. I ran by it earlier on the other video. It's bugging me. But going by the Summoner's Place as part of your farming run, we'll figure it out at some point. If you run by it, you can kill all the people in there. You'll get about like 50 zeal worth of human flesh. And the human flesh takes like 4 hours to decay, so you get plenty of time to get it back to the fridge or get it onto the altar to convert. And hitting at the Summoner's Palace specifically, you want to get the Witch Doctor's Mask. Look for a Thrall that's just literally called a Witch Doctor. Name Thrall, Witch Doctor. And kill him. Always check his body. Harvest him. You know, if you kill all the people there, harvest every single one of them. And whenever you harvest somebody, the cool thing about it is whenever you use your thing, how the durability is super low on those. It's like, what, 200, 100 sometimes? These guys are getting on my nerves. You can, hold on. Yeah, I'm too over encumbered for this. I'm just gonna jump down the cliff. Stamina is low, see that? You can still slide. Yeah, should be fine. Alright, so whenever you're harvesting flesh or hearts or whatever for zeal, if you do this right here, you hit him and it hits twice, that'll use 2 durability of your thing. Whenever you hit on the first hit, it actually won't take up any of your durability. Or it'll take up the 1 durability, but not 2. So if you want to make your efficiency with using those better, you just tap it, roll. So you don't use both. Of course, my perk, I'm at perk 2 survivability, so I harvest faster. But whenever you're hitting human bodies, they will harvest in 2 hits either way. Is that? No, that's not it. Okay. But I missed Summoner's Palace altogether. Witch Doctor's Mask, super important. It's just a Sandstorm Mask like the one I have on, but it gives you plus 10 survivability, or survival, which is huge. That's what completes my build. Allows me to be able to get perk 2 Grit, perk 2 or 3 Survival, perk 3 Vitality. I mean, sometimes I can even have 1 Agility and 1 Strength on top of max Encumbrance and perk 3 Vitality. Like, it's pretty important for a farmer's build. So anytime you come through and you're hitting Brimstone, always hit that place up and try and kill the Witch Doctor and get that mask. It's a really rare drop, like really, really rare drop. I think on the last server we were on, we managed to get maybe 3 of them, but we hit that constantly. Like, it takes a long time. I say when you're running around, just look around for coal, dry wood, all that great stuff. I completely ran down the wrong path. I can go show you real quick if I take the time. Yeah, I just went down the wrong path, that's all it was. I went on an off course to the left instead of going straight down. I didn't realize horses actually spawn down here. Let's see. So you're over here. Yeah, normally you would go from here straight down this way. Like it'd be like a pretty much straight shot down. I kind of went off to the side and went down this whole route instead of going straight. So that was completely my fault. This right here is the Summoner's Palace, if I remember correctly. Yeah, right here. That's it. So it would be more of like this path. And go down. You'll go inside there with the Yacht Cleaver and come out with quite a few zeals worth of human flesh and the Witch Doctor's Mask. And you can loot them if you want to take the time to loot them, but like honestly they give you like really low tier loot, so it's like iron bars and twine, plant fiber, wood, which isn't like all that's still worth picking up technically. It's just taking your personal time to actually do that. It's not as needed. But if you want to, you can, of course. I personally do not. There's dry wood on this section right here that you can mine up that I would show you, but I don't feel like right now. Lots of coal around the Summoner's Palace too, the Summoner's Place. You get a lot of coal and dry wood along that path, so it really fuels your fire. And if you're hurting for iron, there's a decent amount of iron along that path, but I mean, it's not killer. You know, like if you want iron specifically, you want to go to God's Claw up near the the bridge, the ice bridge. You want to go up to God's Claw and just hit that place once or twice. You'll come out with like 30 to 50,000 iron just by hitting that. But this is the route that me and Annie will always take anyway. Not the exact one that I just took, but the one I showed you where you just go from there to here to there to back to base. Let's see. I already hit the mushrooms here and it hasn't been an hour, but they spawn right here in this area. Oh, there they are. Alright, so they have spawned. I'm gonna go ahead and take these trees out just so I can get them easier. And just so you know, like how good in terms of like resource location you were in, like that's your base. This is the mushroom farm. Take the sickle. A lot of people don't know this, but you pick one up, you only get like 2. That's what everyone does. But if you use a sickle and you crouch and you swing, that's 22 per hit that you actually get on a mushroom. So you just do this, clean these mushrooms out. This could take a little while. And they kind of look like stones at night. It's kind of weird. Yeah, you want to tap R2 and then triangle. So you swing, start to swing, and then you crouch. Because if you try and crouch and then swing, your character just stands up. Luckily, these are on a vertical incline. Or, yeah, they're vertical to me, so it's easier to hit them. But the crouching part makes it super easy. And this only works with the ones that are on inclines like this. If they're nice and flat to the ground, it's almost impossible to actually get them with a blood sickle. Or any kind of sickle. Fun fact, hitting your thralls with weapons, even outside of raid time, does do durability damage to your tools and weapons. So I just try not to hit them. Thralls are so dumb. Can they just move? Bam. See, there's still one left there. Yeah, you want to have the cursor floating just barely over the top of it. That got a little bit over 1,000, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, a little over 1,000. So that's big right there. We're going to go straight down to Hanuman's Grotto here. I'll show you the usefulness of this place because when you're farming dragon powder, the brimstone might be like the hardest thing to get, but you still have to get the poison arrows, and you still have to get the crystal to make the flask for the glass for the poison arrows, and for the dragon powder itself. So hitting up Hanuman's Grotto constantly is a really big deal. Clear to the left. Da, da, da. Yeah, there's your place. And there's the cave that you need to go inside of. Your place, cave. So the poison shrooms right over there, football mushrooms, and cave is right here. Like, this is juicy in terms of that specifically. Like, it's right at the end of my farming route. It's so nice. I love it. What's up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? Oop. Oop. Alright. So these crystal in here, I'm gonna take care of this real fast. Am I not hitting these guys at all? Right, let's try this. This is not good. There we go. Throw all give me some damage, please. Yeah, there we go. Swing, swing, swing. Yeah. Thank you. Alright. So, anywho, it's more shield. This section here, a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually hit these crystals with your pick. Get a lot more out of it. Cleaning up this cave, you can get like 15k decently fast if you're actually just sitting here and cleaning it out. With me and Annie together, we make it a goal to hit around 15,000 anytime we come and visit this place. Between our two individual gatherings added together. So we'll come in here, we'll just do this right here. If there's anything like, see how now I can't grab anymore or hit anymore, I'll just start gathering it like that. I'll try and hit as many of these as I can, but I won't waste too much time trying. I'll start doing this. I can just hold down square and walk along it, and it'll gather up it all. But most of these you can actually swing your pick at, and you get a lot more out of it than just having to pick up the +2 to like 6 or 8. 2 to 8 every time you pick them up. Yeah, anytime you can come up on this, you can just get good swings in. It's a little finicky playing with it the first time you do it, but after a while you get really used to this. Just playing around using this place as a little jungle gym and whatnot. Got up all this, got that, Alright, these ones on the ground are harder to hit. They're like directly on the ground. So a lot of times you just end up having to actually gather these ones up. You got all this you can gather up. These guys, I don't think they give you anything good. So you skin them with the skinning knife, lots of hide, throw flesh, pick, a lot of hide. Okay, yeah, so there's nothing special about harvesting those guys. Like these crystals, is less time out. You can't exactly get them. You have to actually gather. You can get them off the ceiling as well. Like there's places like this up here. You can just climb on the wall, and while you're climbing, you can access them. Just holding down square. Boom, so like that. Okay, you can do it all along here. You can jump on top of these crystals and be able to gather these ones up here. Like just doing little cheeky stuff like this, you can get really creative, so you can maximize how much you can actually gather. Oh, I get stuck. Just remember, you can also grab them. Any of these, grab them all. Oh, hello, big guy. Yeah. Just go around him. Yeah, you got all this in here to play with. The big section we're gonna get the most at is over here. There's also the guy where you get the only gorilla spawn from. Kill him, get that heart, use it on the chest, you get a gorilla. No one cares about those though, they're pretty dumb. You got all those crystals up there, you can actually climb up into these little crevices here. So you can climb up in here and you can just walk up this and mine this. Super effective. Yep. You got paths like this all along top of these rocks. All on top of these. A lot of these down here you won't be able to actually get by swinging at it. If you can, great. But a lot of this you can't. You have to actually pick it up with square. Yeah, you have a ton that you can actually harvest out of this place. Anyway, I would kill him, gather up that stuff. It's like me and Annie farming this place. Like, if we're just doing it super casual or joking around or whatever, by the time we're heading back out, it'll be respawning again, so you can spend a long time here, especially if you're by yourself. You can just spend all day right here farming if you really wanted to.